Good morning. The purpose of this video is to talk about the adaptive air suspension system. And on it, we're going to talk about the way it works. We're going to talk about the components of the system and also the failures that we got to look for or worry about when working on the system. So, adaptive air suspension operation. On some vehicles, when the ignition is switched on or when the vehicle's door is open before ignition, the control system is activated. The height sensor uses the induction principle to constantly monitor the distance between the vehicle's axle and its chassis. If the control system determines that the ride height is too low, it will command that air be added to the appropriate adaptive shock absorbers. When the vehicle is being loaded, unloaded, or lowered because of driver command of vehicle speed, the height sensor monitors the changes and reports them to the control unit. The ECU compares this information to be stored reference values. The ECU activates either the electric motor of the compressor or the exhaust solenoid valve, which is located on the top of each adaptive shock absorber. This also requires the solenoid valve to be activated or moved to maintain the required level once reached. The adaptive shock absorber solenoid valves are subject to stringent leakage requirements in order to maintain the vehicle's height even when the system is not being operated. When the vehicle is being loaded, the compressor delivers air into the four air suspension bellows through fill solenoids or gate solenoids until the normal level has once again been reached. For additional air delivery or rapid response, the reservoir solenoid valve is open and air flows directly from the reservoir. When the vehicle is being unloaded, the exhaust solenoid valve is activated. Activation of this valve results in airflow from the air suspension bellows being removed via the air dryer solenoid valve in the compressor, then via the relay valve. The air is then exhausted into the atmosphere through a computer-controlled vent valve. Any dynamic air spring movement while the vehicle is in motion is ignored and does not cause the control system to respond. However, the system can adjust the air pressure based on other parameters such as vehicle speed, driver selection of a different mode, or any automatic adjustment that the control system determines is necessary. Now we're going to talk about the components.
The component. Air suspension is a different suspension system compared to traditional cooling spring. Heavy-duty rubber air spring provide luxury vehicle with an auto level that adds safety and a smoother, more consistent ride. The main component of air suspension system are ride height sensor and electronic control unit (ECU), system compressor and air struct. A ride height sensor monitor the ride height and send a signal to a vehicle computer to activate compressor. It measures the variety system, distance between the road and the vehicle classic to provide input in a vehicle ECU, which then send a signal to the air compression compressor to fill and release air from the vehicle airstream.
So these are the function of the components. The air suspension compressor or electronic. The air suspension compressor or electronic air pumps that feed compressed air into reservoir or directly into flexible air below found on an air spring, strut, and air assisted shock. The air strut are one of the core components of any suspension system. The air struts that are equipped with airbags or gliders that can inflate and deflate to raise or lower the vehicle. A ride height sensor is a crucial component in a air suspension system. It provides a feedback voltage signal to air suspension control module directly related to the ride height sensor measurement or at each corner of the vehicle, and the air suspension ECU adjusts the loading platform height according to the load to keep this air suspension system.
Now, the failures of an air adapted suspension, air fitting failure resulting in initial inflating or infrequent use, air leaks in the springs, or air struts from consistently engaging to maintain proper pressure.
Okay, I also did a little search on regards 1999 Lincoln Town Cars, and this is something else that they have a failure that should be aware about. It says here, shaft separates during vehicle operation. A loss of steering control would result in increasing the risk of a vehicle crash. This is all the information we gather on this. I hope it's very helpful for everybody. Have a great day. Oh, what happened? You turned my
I think
first.
we are.